Good evening. This is David Lynn, and you are on Coffee Talk. Hello, KP Heathen. How are you doing tonight? If you hear rumblings, it's getting ready to rain outside. The thunder. We're still getting rain. Should be passing through. Hot day. It was about 100 degrees. I went by the school this morning and took a Bouge RV compressor-driven refrigerator and a fan so that my room's fully stocked now. Put a dozen bottles of water in the fridge so they'll be cold when I go in. Hello, Black Widow. Three in the house, four in the house. 3 likes. Idaho Garden Girl doing. There is something flying around in here. I hate that. Mosquitoes. Yep. Gotta make sure that you feed the chickens and water the cows and make sure everything's up and running. Tomorrow, I'll be getting my lawn guy 8 in the morning and getting him to clean up the yard. It's been about 10 days since it's been done. Hello, Bud Files. Well, I run a playlist last night. I had 3 channels that I'm behind on. Well, I'm behind on a bunch of channels. But I run 2 live streams each for 3 different channels. I've not went back and made comments, left likes. I just run them. I just ran the playlist, and I need to go back. And usually when I run a playlist, I run it on my backup channel, which is David Taco Talk. So when you see a comment from me and it says a full replay or whatever, I ran that on my backup, which I really don't put anything into as far as putting out content. So when somebody wants to show their appreciation, you can come back onto my main channel. But I really don't. My second channel is basically for me to give back to people and to store. I oftentimes will transfer videos in backup mode, private, from my main channel to my backup channel. Something happens, I can go ahead and I could re-release them. Sounds like a mouthful, right? Sort of is. 6 in-house. So as I said multiple times recently, when I get to 1,700, I will be doing a 1,700 subscribers giveaway. And right now, I started this evening, I was at 1,678 subscribers, which means I need another 22 to go. Now, that could come overnight, or that could be a month from now. Chances are it'll be in the next week or two. I tend to grow in spurts. And looking at the last 28-day cycle, I've put up 60 subscribers in the last 28 days. Not quite what I was doing previously, because I was usually, you do a 28-day cycle, I was only picking up over 100 subscribers, a little over 100. So I was averaging about 100 hours a month, and it slowed way down. But I do anticipate getting there at some point. When I do, in order to qualify for my subscriber giveaway, please leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I have released. And I've had people contact me about that and asking for clarification, and I said I'm not referring to shorts, I'm not referring to live streams, I'm not referring to community wall posts, I'm referring to videos. I've actually, in the last 2 months, according to looking at what it says, I've released 5 videos in the last 2 months. 5. Now, will I release another video before I hit 1,700? Possibly. I'm planning on sending out a follow-up box to one of my friends, followed by another one, and followed by several more. But I may or may not get a follow-up box out. If I do, it'll probably be released as a video. I'm putting stuff together to do that right now. I'm going to have a couple of shorts attached to it, interspersed. There'll probably be me with the taco and coffee talking, and then there will be the process of, names in the hat, drawing the name, and then, loading a box. And it'll be all put together, and there may be an intro and maybe an outtake, But I'll be doing that in the next, fairly soon. So please remember to leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released. Because I'll go to the last video. The last video I released has 49 views. Not everybody who viewed it left a comment. And some of those, when I start counts, some of those are my responses. So, right now for the last cycle, I have 19.6K, probably right at 20, about 20K, which I'm getting back to where I like to be at. I've been doing more lately. My watch time is still way down, 462 watch hours, way down from where it normally would be, because like I said, there was about 10 days in there where I didn't do anything, and I'm thinking some of those days are starting to cycle out. But anyway, my last live, 73. It was a slow evening. I did do, anytime I do over 10 hours when I do a live stream, I'm fairly satisfied with that. If I get at least 10 watch hours. Last night, the live I did had 12, and that's not counting if anybody did a replay or ran the. It was a little over an hour. Somebody ran it. That doesn't count. So I'm about 10 minutes into this one. I'm not going to do the full hour this evening. I'm not going to do the full hour. I'm tired. It's been a day. I went to my work this morning. I took a Bouge RV compressor-driven refrigerator freezer in, put it on economy mode, put a dozen bottles of cold water in it, and should be nice and cold when I come back Monday. Brought my portable fan in, and I am looking at the chat. I don't see a comment from Joshua Humphrey. But then I am blind. How are you doing, Melinda Elliott? I apologize. I don't look at the chat a lot, and sometimes you're here for a little while before I recognize you. And I apologize. Good to see you, Melinda, and thank you for linking, for dropping links. I appreciate that. I'm tired. I've been trying to reschedule so I get up early. So last few days I've been getting up around 4:30 in the morning. 4:30. I wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. I drink a couple of cups of coffee, take my medication, get ready for the day. I'm trying to get back into work mode. Been off for a couple of months. Hello, Yoda. $14.96. You catching up to me? 22 to go. If any of you in here have not linked up with Dave from Georgia, he's going now by Yoda. I encourage you to, reach out. He's a good person to be friends with. He and his fiance Echo living my best life at 60. They're both got really nice channels. They're very friendly, and they will support those who support them. I ran 2 live streams. I ran a place with 6 live streams on it, and I ran some of y'all stuff last night, overnight, Dave. I just haven't left a comment or a like yet, but I ran it. Goofy channel. You should have standard moderator now. Our Goofy channel, welcome. So I just subscribed your channel. You're ordering a camo Trump hat. We are about 15 minutes in. Hello, Holly Ivans. It will be interesting to see how things go this year. They're going to do when they have November 5th election, the school district is requesting a 9% tax increase, 9-cent tax increase. And in order to raise pay. And we'll see how that comes out. It really is tough for the clerical, the support people. They don't make that much. Under the current budget, they did a pay increase of 67 cents per hour. They want to do a pay increase of $2 per hour. And if they pass the tax increase in November, they will go back and retro it so that all of the support people, non-professionals, will get a $2 pay raise per hour. And we shall see what happens. We shall see. I'm trying to put out a couple of shorts a day. Supposedly, I'm told by people in the know that if you're really trying to grow your channel and you really want the YouTube algorithm to treat you well, you should release 4 shorts a day and would release 2 videos a day. And I've released 5 videos in the last 2 months. I do try to release a couple of shorts a day. At least 1, a lot of times 2, and sometimes, every once in a while I release 3. But no, I don't release that many. From your mouth to God's ear, but I don't think it's going to be like that. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think in some places it's going to be close. The so-called independents, and there's still some never, those never people that will cut their, would cut the nation's throat to spite, who. I'm not speaking it, but there are people who are just, I don't know. Nanani YTC, welcome. I mean, there are people who are very paranoid. They really think somebody's out to get them, other than the IRS and the government wanting to get as much tax money as they can out of them. But those of us who speak out tend to be a little more conservative. There are those who they call us deplorable, or they call us. They have not so nice things to say about us. Like there's something wrong with us. You know, if we support the Constitution and believe in the Bill of Rights, and we own Bibles and we own guns and all those subversive things. Those horrible people who own Bibles. You know, and when I was a Gideon, we would pass out pocket scriptures, pocket New Testaments, little pocket Bibles. They have the New Testament plus Psalms and Proverbs. Doesn't have the whole Bible, it's just the New Testament plus Psalms and Proverbs. And we would give them out freely. And then we would tell people, read the book of John to begin, and then go find a church. Accept the Lord, accept salvation, then go find a church you feel, comfortable in. Well, you could say that, I guess. But I'm no longer an active member. And I let my membership lapse. I used to pay my dues every year. A couple of years ago, I let my membership lapse. I was getting for about 20 years. All the people that were with me in my group are pretty much nowhere. They passed away, or a lot of them were a lot older. I was the young kid when I joined. I was like, hey, he's like 40 years old. He's the baby. And yet all these people were in their 60s and 70s. Hope you do go live. That'll be good. There are people who take YouTube serious to the extent that they feel like it's like a money-making operation for them. They get monetized, and then they do whatever they can to bring in and to get people to, they want those donations. They want people to give them money. I never asked for people to give me money. Now, when I was a Gideon, I would ask people to donate to the Gideons so we could buy Bibles, but and I just sort of got burned out from that. I got burned out, dealing with people and dealing with politics. Traveling. When you're in a leadership position, traveling, they always want you to go. You got to go to quarterly meetings. You got to go around to wherever you're responsible, all the towns and areas you're responsible for. Go prop up the little groups that are in these different, towns and little cities and such, your area of the state that you're responsible for. And go encourage them. Go help them, And it's a ministry, but you can get burned out from it, And there are examples in scriptures, how over years, and the way you're treated by some people. Yeah, normally, you would have a weekly prayer breakfast. So if you're involved, you're where you're at, the group where you're at, and you're usually going to be, your group will be over a county or two. So all the activities within a certain, like, my group was basically involved in 5 counties in the Crossroads area. Victoria is the largest city in the 5 area by far. So our group was centered in Victoria, and then we were over 5 counties, and we would have to go, or I would have to go around, and that's just in that, and that's not counting me being, director in the state cabinet or anything. And then you've got like an area of like from, Kingsville, Texas, all the way up to, a little south of Houston, and like everything in between there. It's like, and you gotta go around and support them and such. So I really just got And yeah, eventually you can get monetized. You have to have 1,000 subscribers to be fully monetized. They've got like a monetization light with 500 and 3,000 watch hours, but normally it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the last year. 1,000 total and 4,000 watch hours in the last year. The 4,000 watch hours, that gets a little tough, you know, trying to get up to that. And but they give what they call super chats. Once you get monetized, a person can give to you. Uh, you can have a you can have specials, and you can have private, you know, material access. You can sell stuff, memorabilia or whatever, your gear, stuff like that. You get people. When I was in Gideon's, I had people that I could count, very rich people. Um, and you write off, it's tax deductible. It's a nonprofit organization. So I could get somebody to, I need $1,000. They'll write me a check for $1,000, donated to Gideon's to buy Bibles. When I'm short, you know, I had 2 or 3 different people. They would give pretty little amounts of donations. It's tax deductible. You go to a church, different sized churches. You go take a collection up, you know, open Bible collection, love offering, whatever you want to call it. At the and you'd have some people give you $100, or they'll write you a check. Other people kick in 5, 10. It's like, you know, like those might. You get a person gives you $2 or $3, and they're given, you know, or you get a person that writes you a check for $500. You know, but not really wanting to go back into, you know, with that. It's a very good it's a very good organization to be part of, and it's a ministry, a calling. Teaching is a ministry and a calling. The idea of rabbi, that basically translates as teaching. And but no, I'm getting ready for the new school year. And I am looking forward to it. I'll get my last paycheck on last year's contract this coming Friday, and then the new part, and then towards the end of December, I'll get my first check on, and I don't even know what I'm making this year. They have not given salary statements or anything like that. I don't even know. And it is what it is, and it'll be whatever it is. I'm not worried about it. 4 in the house, 12 likes. Well, you know, and another thing is, I've heard, and I've had people talk about fairly large channels that get content strike, or they get their channels locked up. You can be a small channel and get your channel locked up. Certain things are like, they just don't want to hear. They don't want to hear you talk about the pandemic. They don't want to hear you talk about where it came from. They don't want to hear you about you know, shots or any of that sort of stuff. They don't want to hear any of that. They say everything's misinformation. There are certain things that they try to defend that they want or they don't want. And I've had friends that had smaller channels, less than 500 subscribers, have their channels locked up for a couple of years. You know, you can look at their old content, you can leave a comment on the content. They can't do anything. They can't do anything they can't do anything. They're locked out of their channel. and then trying to get back into it and try to get a hold of somebody, trying to make an appeal or trying to get them to unlock your channel is like trying to pull teeth. And then there are some people who are bigger. Hello, Belinda. Thank you for coming. There are some people who are a little bit bigger who, you know, they may be retired, they're on Social Security, and they've got a channel. They travel around, and they do driving videos, and they do, you know, mail calls. People send them stuff. They got a pretty good following. People send them stuff. They move around with the seasons, you know. So when it's hot, like summertime, there's some place where it's cooler. They're up in altitude. They're up, you know, mile high up or whatever, where it's cooler. When they want to be back down in Texas, where they don't have to worry with the snow or anything. You know, Central Texas or whatever, lower Texas or whatever. And I knew one old guy. You know, he has a channel that had probably about 70,000 subscribers. So he put out 2 or 3 videos every day. He basically just put the camera in front of him. He'd sit down, he'd be in his trailer, he'd just sit down. Or he would be recording something while he's driving. And he'd have a 30, 40 minute video. And he'd get thousands of views. And people would be giving him, you know, watch time. Lots of watch time. Somehow he got locked out of his channel. He almost lost his mind because that was the majority of his income. He probably gets about $15, $16 a month from Social Security, and the rest of it's what he gets on his channel. And you can say, well, you know, I got a channel that's got 3,500 subscribers, and I put out content, and I get $100 a month, or I get $125 a month, you know. And then you got somebody who's got a channel that's like 20 times the size of yours, and you know, translate that up. They may be getting a couple $1,000s a month, you know, or more, a little more. Plus, they get people who send them money besides watch time, and they depend on that. I don't depend on what I get from YouTube. You know, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what my income is, but my income is decent. You know, so even if I was retired, my income is decent. So I mean, or it's not working. If I was not teaching, I still got good income. And I just, you know, I don't need to be monetized. I'm probably going to apply for monetization because I put so much effort into trying to get monetized. And then I just, you know, 6 months ago I could have applied and I hadn't applied. Well, I don't know how to do it, and they want to, you know, like, well, whatever. And I don't really feel the need to be. But I need to watch the Black Widow's Mel video. Just joking about taking it down, you know, where I couldn't see it, and I said, no, don't do that. But I just, like today, I slept several hours today, during the day. I went and got one on the other side of town. I took my Bouge RV, I took one of my Bouge RV refrigerator freezers over to my room, took a fan over to my room, and plugged it in, put a dozen bottles of water in it, cool them down, got it on economy mode. When I go in Monday morning, it should be around 35 degrees. The stuff in it is about 35. I don't really use them as a freezer. I could, but I basically just keep stuff cold, like it nice and cold. And then I'll put little packets of whatever. I like lemonade. I love the lemonade, and I love the Concord grape. So I sort of alternate, more lemonade than Concord grape, but I sort of alternate. I buy cases of the stuff. Likewise, like coffee, I got several of these. You know, I got enough coffee probably for 5 years. Drink 2 or 3 cups a day for 5 years. Simply Kate. Hello, Simply Kate. Oh, Simply Katie. I.E. Simply Katie. All right, Simply Katie, you should be standard moderator. Paisley. Paisley Hunter, 355 subscribers. Well, I am subscribed. Welcome to my channel. I'm on the road to 1,700. 20-ish short. Reach out. I will try to get by to visit you. Oh, you don't need to retract. I appreciate you being subscribed, everybody here. They're all good channels. Well, I appreciate if you would subscribe to everyone here. You'll find out that people will support you when you support them. You give back, you do for people, you have decent content, they will support you. I also trickle along goodie boxes, people. You're not a creator and you have 350 members? Oh, Joseph, I'm sorry. No, I've been encouraging Joseph to become a creator. Mosquitoes. Did I get this? Did I get it? No, he's still flying around. There is a mosquito in here trying to suck blood. I pinched myself ouch. In the process of changing out batteries for my solar. And I'll do some sort of deal for that. Be waiting for me to release a new video. Because you could be in a situation where I release a new video and you like, I watch like once a week, and it's like a week goes by and then, hey, he released another video and then he hit 1,700 and like, hey, I did not get a comment in on this last video. And that happens to some people. You're a walking channel? Hey, I walk all the time. I can't jog and I can't run or I basically fall over, but I can walk all day long. I can walk and I can stand up all day long. I just move the way I used to. I had been commenting about my friend James Ortiz that he hadn't been putting out any shorts recently. And then today he came up and I watched 6 or 7 food shorts. So he put out some shorts. He must have had them together. He blew them out. He blew them out. And they came up in my feed and I was leaving comments. Good looking meals. It got to be in a retirement center someplace or a hospital. He's got to be I got to ask him about where that food's coming from. But he's got some good meals. Some of them look a little, like hospital food or, retirement home food type stuff. Looks a little bit like. So I don't know where he's getting his, but good looking stuff. Good Good looking stuff. I'm encouraging Joseph to release a short. Put several pictures of your fishing, where you catch your fish. People take snapshots. Put several of them together. Put a little music and release it as a short, and you are a creator. That's a suggestion, Joseph, whether you do it or not. 13 in the house, 15 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. Did you get your stuff in for your monetization? Black Widow, I remember you were fighting with them about something or other, trying to figure out what you're going to put in or what you're not. You know, and it's a good hobby. This is a hobby for me. You know, this is a hobby. I don't depend on it, but I enjoy it. You know, I have a number of friends, and I always put my email address in the description of my videos. When I say videos, I'm saying just my videos, not my shorts, not my lives. I don't do descriptions for lives. I don't do descriptions for shorts or any of that. But I put my email address, my personal email address. If you want to, you can email me. We can email. If you want to send me a text, send me your phone number. I will send you a text. If you want to talk, we can talk. If you want to text, I don't give it out to anybody. If you tell me you don't want people to know that your real name, because like people, they win my goodie box or I send them a goodie box, I have to have a name and a mailing address. So I don't give that out. If you don't want, you're not using it, I don't give it out. And 56, yes, I'm 62. I'm a 62 model, towards the last of the baby boomers. Born in 62 and I'm 62. I am a retired educator, principal, director. I went 23 years of my career was administration. My first 7 was as a teacher. And last year I came back after being retired for 5 years. I came back and I taught, do behavioral unit. I have my own little school. I got this year starting out probably about 6 kids, 2 professionals, perhaps 3. Just depends. Oh, I got him. Thank you, Lord. I hate those things. Now I got a dead mosquito on my arm that I need to get off. Give it. I hate mosquitoes. Dead mosquito. They come in. Oh Lord. But I got that one. And today I was doing I did all of my underwear, socks, and t-shirts and all. I did all of my slacks. Now I need to do all my white dress shirts. People say, he wears the same shirt. I got a dozen of them. I got a dozen white long sleeve shirts. I wear one a day. And I've got one that's short sleeve that's white. I've got a bunch of colored ones I never wear. Probably ought to get rid of them. I never wear the colored ones. But if you see me out on the, I'm wearing like, this is a light green, or I wear black, gray. I usually wear a t-shirt and some shorts, or I wear some slicks, like warm-up slicks. Yeah. Well, God bless you if you're camping. God bless you if you're camping. 9 in the house, 15 likes. There is another storm developing. You had one go through northern Florida into Georgia, and it didn't do that much damage. It did some. They were without power for a little while. And I'm getting ready to send a follow-up box to my friends Dave and Echo. So when I send something, I gotta send double. I gotta send Dave some more of the coffee he likes. He can't get it there. I'm gonna send him some coffee. I'm gonna send him some emergency blankets, some emergency ponchos, the little plastic types that are disposables. I'm gonna send him a manual can opener. I'm putting together what I'm going to be doing follow-up boxes for people. You need a couple of good manual can openers. They can break. If one breaks, you need a replacement. I got a bunch of them on clearance for $2. So like when you can get stuff on clearance, buy it. They're normally like $7 or $8 for a opener like that. And if I can get them, buy them. You're in Omaha, Nebraska. Oh, God bless you. Not prepared. Yeah. When Hurricane Harvey came through Victoria 7 years ago, my last year before I retired, I missed the whole first week of school. I was without power for a week. Didn't have water for like 4 or 5 days. Water. And I wasn't really prepared. I had plenty of bottled water. I had plenty of canned foods and my medication and all that sort of stuff, but I didn't have any solar. Since taking care of that. And, we had a propane grill, which we could use to cook. And we had to go buy ice for our ice chests. I now have I have 3 compressor-driven refrigerator freezers, which we would have one of them run, have stuff in it. Can keep it running. Got enough solar to keep that going. I'm sorry for your problems. God bless you. And I will tell you, I had to go to my car to charge my cell phone. I had to use the car charger. I didn't have any electricity inside. Didn't have any power stations or any emergency. Well, we had candles. We had flashlights. So we have a lot of stuff, but I wasn't prepping for it. I wasn't specifically putting together, this is the list of things that you need. Hello, Mr. Whistle. Thank you for coming in. I'm sure ice was scarce. And my advice is, if you've got a dual fuel generator, run on propane and gas, just run propane through it. The motor, everything will last longer if you just run propane through it. It'll be a lot cleaner. It'll last a lot longer. It's easier on the motor if you just run propane. You don't get quite as much power out of it running propane as you do gasoline, but it will benefit you from the standpoint that your generator will last longer. Please feel free to drop your link to your channel. In the house, 17 likes. Mr. Whistle, I think, is working on his 500. Is that? What is your subscriber count right now, Mr. Whistle? Let me look at your channel real fast. You're working on 400. Let's see if we can get Mr. Whistle over 400. I just subscribed you, Mr. Whistle, on my channel, so you got 2 subscriptions from me. We're going to try to get Mr. Whistle over 400. I had a mail call today. I get a lot of stuff from Amazon. I decided to try $365 Whole Foods Market organic unsweetened chocolate almond non-dairy beverage. It's like milk but almond based. No sugar added, naturally flavored with other natural flavors. 32 ounces, only 40 calories per serving. The serving is 8 ounces. So it's 40 calories per serving. So I will put this in the fridge overnight, hold, and I'll open it tomorrow and I will have some chocolate milk, almond. If I like it, I will order several more. I paid for this about $3.75 delivered, you know, for a quart. And store this for a year or so without, it'll still be good. You don't want it in the real heat, but you can just out on the shelf. But when you open it, you've got to refrigerate it. And I basically would say before you open it, refrigerate it overnight to get it cold, shake it up real good, and then open it. Water trough has a leak that can't be fixed. Can you shove some chewing gum in it? You remember the old bubble gum? Stick a plug of bubble gum in it. That might just depends on how big your hole is. You know, a smaller hole, you used to plug stuff with bubble gum. Get a big wad of bubble gum, get it nice and chewy and everything, and stick that down in there. That'd plug it up. But it's like trying to stick your finger in the dike. If the hole's too big, you have to replace it. Or, patches, you gotta dry the thing out, try to do a patch on it or something other. It can be in the butt. It can be a pain in the rear end. I can tell you stories about back in the day. Back in the day. Yeah. Back in the days. Belinda, how are you doing, youngie? You still in here? Hadn't visited you recently. I need to go visit you. My apologies. I haven't visited my friend Idaho Garden Girl. I still hadn't seen the Black Widow's mail call from me. I need to go watch that. I need to leave comments and likes for that playlist that I run last night. And I need another playlist, and I'm spreading it out. So I'm trying to hit all those people that I owe. And usually when I'm running a playlist, I'm running live streams. So I'm trying to run stuff that's like at least an hour. Or with some people, like when I run Melinda's, sometimes hers are like 30 minutes. So I'll try to pick up a couple of them and run them to give her an hour. So I try to get you an hour's worth of watch time when I go to visit you and try to, help you out the way y'all help me, those of you who do. So, I encourage people to make a basic inventory of what you have, figure out what you need to get, shop for it, try to get stuff on sale if you can. Miss D. Pascure, pork rust. Pascual pork Ross. Welcome.